Here's a little love for your low back. So I'm starting kneeling so you can get a sense of what you want the spine doing. That curve forward, your low back's really pressing forward, low ribs are pressing forward, isn't ideal for getting your breath to be most effective. So you want that little drop back of your rib cage. And you're not looking to belly breathe either. So belly breathing is awesome when you want to calm down. In the case of functional movement, you want to keep your belly button drawing in gently towards your spine. So as you inhale and exhale, your breath's expanding out into the sides of your rib cage. So I've got my hands on shirt seams right now to get a feel for what that's like. You can try that. Again, you're looking for that little draw in there, belly button towards spine. You'll get started here on your back. You'll want a blanket or towel and 2 blocks or thick books nearby. So you'll start with one hand on abdomen, one hand on chest. And begin to check in with whether you're belly breathing here. And this is awesome because you have the floor as a guideline. You might wiggle your feet a little bit further forward to make sure that your hip flexors, the muscles that join your legs to your torso, are relatively at ease. You'll tune into your breath. So a good guideline here is if the hand on your abdomen is lifting more, you're doing some deeper belly breathing. So again, you want to feel that draw down of belly button towards the floor. So as you maintain that as you inhale. We'll start to take a few pelvic movements now before you lift up to bridge. I move my arms by my ears so that you can see what my hips aren't doing. So you'll start to take a few really small movements tilting your pelvis. So as you exhale, press low back against the floor. As you inhale, round towards cat pose. Do that once or twice. You'll start to move up and down for bridge. So as you exhale, curl your tailbone up, lift hips away from the floor. And as you inhale, lower back down. Again, your arms can be by your sides. I want you to be able to see what my hips are doing. So be in the position that makes most sense for your shoulders. Move up and down with your breath. Does not matter how high your hips lift. Might be a barely perceptible movement depending on what's going on at your low back right now or how your hamstrings and glutes feel about the lift. As long as you move with your breath, you're doing it right. For your next one, when you lower your hips down, roll over onto one side, come up to hands and knees. This is where you might want your blanket or folded up towel to cushion your knees. Yoga mats are not that thick. You'll set yourself up in that neutral place. So you feel that gentle draw up of your low belly, as if your spine were still pressing against the floor. You'll start to take little pelvic tilt motions. So they're basically very tiny cat-cow movements. So inhale is going to give you a little arch, exhale a little rounding. You're mostly just shifting your pelvis a little bit, like you're thrusting your pelvis towards the floor. Just really small, gentle movements. Inhale to lift your right leg, left arm up. Again, don't collapse at your abdomen. You keep that draw up so you've got your back at that neutral place. And exhale, left hand, right knee down to the floor. Inhale, left leg, right arm up. Again, don't collapse there. Keep that lift up with your abdomen. Exhale, left leg, right hand down to the floor. So you'll alternate. Inhale, lifts up right leg, left arm. Exhale them down. Inhale, lift up left leg, right arm. Exhale them down. You'll notice I'm not looking at my knees as I do this. Keep looking. Your fingertips are a little bit forward of them. Your knees have not gone anywhere. They're still there. Promise. Move. Alternate side to side. Move with your breath. Or a little bit slower if you need to. Now we'll begin to move into those bigger cat-cows. So your inhale arches your spine, head and tailbone lift. Exhale to round your spine. Head and tailbone curl towards the floor. And move with your breath. I don't like to cue each individual breath because it's about how you're breathing and syncing up your own movement patterns. And next, Exhale is going to take head and tailbone towards the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, head and tailbone towards the right. Next time you take your head and tailbone towards the left, pause there. Get that right side bend to counter left turn syndrome and life. Inhale brings you back to center. Exhale, head and tailbone towards the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, head and tailbone towards the left. Hold there for a breath. Back to center, towards the right. Back to center, towards the left. Hold there for a full breath. Back to center. And hips towards heels for child's posture. With that little extra side bending towards the left to give the muscles on the right side of your body some time to expand. As you hang out in child's posture, you might rock a little from side to side. Next, inhale, pick up to hands and knees. And exhale, you need to lift low belly. Start to lower your head towards the floor by bending your elbows. Don't lose that sense of rounding as you bend your elbows. It does not matter if your head comes anywhere near the floor. You want to keep that nice rounded shape of your back. Inhale brings you to neutral. Exhale, round your spine, bend your elbows, reach your head in the direction of the floor. A few movements like that. Up and down with your breath, maintaining that lift of lower abdomen. Again, it doesn't matter what it looks like in your body, but you want to feel your lower abs, that space below your belly button, doing some work. Release to child's posture. Head might rest on your arms this time. A little rocking and swaying from side to side if that feels good for your hips and shoulders and neck. Inhale to lift up to hands and knees. Exhale, walk your hands towards the left. And again, lower your hips back towards child's posture. They don't have to come anywhere near your heels. You might put something between your hips and your heels, an extra blanket. Inhale back to center. And exhale, press up to hands and knees. I'm turning so you can see. You might stay exactly as you are. Step right foot out towards the right. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right hand to the floor. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right hand to the floor. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right hand down. Step left hand to the other side of your left knee. So you got 3 points on a line. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale it down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, down. Inhale, right arm up. And this time, maintain that lift. Reach your right arm alongside your right ear, with right arm alongside right ear, or right hand up towards the ceiling, or right hand on right hip. Begin to float your right leg up. Using those outer hip muscles, getting into the glutes to get that lifting and lowering. You might actually turn your toes a little bit towards the floor so you get a little more gluteal action. Like that plow stop kind of foot as you lift and lower your leg. You're getting some strength for left obliques, for your left outer hip as well. Then you're going to step your left foot for side plank. You could also keep your left knee on the floor for side plank. And you might take little motions. Inhale to reach arm up and exhale to curl it under your body. Depends on how your left abs are feeling right now after doing whatever you've been doing all day. Move with your breath. Lower your left knee down to the floor. Right knee comes to join it. Hands and knees. And take a few rounds, arching and rounding with your breath in cat-cow. We're working specifically on that left side body strength and not switching the other side because you want the side stretch for right side. Stronger left obliques to, again, counter left turn syndrome. All of that hanging your hip over the apex to keep the jammer from jumping past you. Next exhale, child's posture. You might rock from side to side. Inhale lifts you up to hands and knees. Now you'll step your left foot out towards the left. Inhale to reach left arm up. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, reach left arm up. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, lower it down. Make your way to hands and knees once again. A few rounds of cat-cow. And we're looking for balancing out the difference from one side of your body to the other. So we're not going to match everything that we did on each side. And you'll find your neutral. Now, you might continue moving with your breath in cat-cow, just up and down. You might start to explore if you can round your spine towards cat posture one vertebra at a time and lift up from cat to cow one vertebra at a time. You also might say, nope, that's not going to work for me right now. And you move with your breath the same way we were moving earlier in the practice. No worries, no dramas, no beating yourself up, no stories about how you're terrible at yoga. You move with your breath. You explore. You're learning about how your spine's moving, what you feel from one side of the body to the other. And that's really the important part of this practice. Low back recovery, learn a little more about what's going on in your body. And breathing. That whole breathing thing. Finish this round. Next exhale, hips towards heels, child's posture. Maybe you flip your palms up towards the ceiling. Maybe you rock your head or hips from side to side. Definitely you breathe. Next inhale, hands and knees. Next exhale, tuck your toes, lift your knees up off the floor. You can always skip that and head directly to a forward fold if that bothers any of your joints. You come to your forward fold, your feet about hip width apart. Bend your knees, inhale all the way up to standing. Stretch arms up. Exhale, arms by your sides. You'll fold your towel or blanket up a little extra. There's a little extra lift there. Set it up a little further back on your mat. And work on squatting. Everyone's favorite topic. So feel belly button draw towards your spine. You get that nice big rounding shape like cat pose. And start to fold your body towards the floor as you bend your knees. If you're feeling your heels lift really soon after you start to lower your hips towards the floor, put your heels up on that towel or blanket. Fold it up as much as you need to. And that's sense of rounding, that drop back of your belly. Begin to bend your knees to lower for a squat. You'll keep that rounded position as you lower. As you're playing with this, you might explore how your legs are positioned. Are they a little bit feet a little closer together? Are they a little further apart? Stand back up, forward fold. Bend your knees on an inhale, lift all the way up to standing. Exhale, arms by your sides. And again, explore what distance apart it makes sense to have your feet for this shape for you. I know on the track there are different things that you want to do, but in this case, play around with it. Get to know what's going on in your body. Round your spine, bend your knees, lower your bottom down slowly. You don't want to lose that sense of rounding through your spine. Lift your hips up, forward fold. Maybe in your fold, you grab opposite elbows, let head and torso hang and sway. Also, when you're doing these squats, you might not come down very far at all. You might not get all the way down. That's okay. You're exploring range of motion in your body, learning where you're at right now. From a forward fold, lower down, lower your bottom all the way down to your blanket or towel. Soles of feet together, knees wide. You're not pushing your belly forward. You're lifting the center of your chest up. Have your hands behind you as you inhale and lift up. And you'll make your way to a cross-legged seat. Inhale to lift up tall. As you exhale, twist towards your left. Right hand comes to left leg, left hand behind you. Maybe you turn your head towards your left shoulder and then slowly towards your right shoulder. Just checking in with that range of motion for your neck, because you need it. It's important that your neck moves. Swap the cross of your legs. A little check-in for your hips there. Twist towards your right, left hand to right leg, right hand behind you. Again, start with a turn of head to look over your right shoulder. And then slowly towards your left shoulder. And you want your head and neck to move. You want to be able to see what's going on around you on the track. Slide your blanket or towel off to the side. Extend your legs out in front of you. Scoot your butt into the appropriate position for you. Reach your arms forward. Begin to round towards the floor. Slowly, as best you can, one vertebra at a time. You need to bend your knees and put your feet on the floor. You can do that. Inhale, reach your arms alongside your ears once you've lowered all the way back. Keep that little draw in of navel towards spine. Hug knees in towards your chest. Take a few rocks from side to side. Maybe circle the back of your pelvis on the floor. First in one direction, followed by the opposite direction. Release the soles of your feet down to the floor. Maybe let your knees drop in towards each other. Arms rest away from the sides of your body. Shift and wiggle to allow yourself to settle down. And then rest and breathe. Set yourself up in a way that lets you, that allows you to rest and breathe. After a few more breaths, roll over onto one side. Press your way up to your comfortable seat.